sound of an old film projector transitioning into a gentle, contemplative piano melody. Have you ever wondered what you would do if the world you knew was crumbling around you? Really think about it. If war was knocking on your door, would you run or would you stay? This is the story of a man who had to make that exact choice. A man you might know as the Flying Scotsman, an Olympic gold medalist. But his greatest race wasn't on a track. It was against the darkness of war, and his only fuel was his unwavering faith. His name was Eric Liddell. You've probably seen the movie Chariots of Fire. He's the guy who famously refused to run on a Sunday at the 1924 Paris Olympics because of his religious convictions. A man of principle, right? Well, that was just the beginning of his story. After his Olympic fame, Liddell didn't chase endorsement deals or a life of luxury. He followed a different calling. He returned to the land of his birth, China, to become a missionary teacher just like his parents. For years, he lived a quiet, purposeful life in Tianjin, teaching, mentoring, and pouring his heart into the local community. Life was good. He had a loving wife, Florence, and two beautiful daughters, Patricia and Heather. He had everything a man could want. But then the world changed. The year is 1941. The Second Sino-Japanese War is raging. The Imperial Japanese Army is marching across China, leaving devastation in its wake. Foreigners are being advised, even ordered, to evacuate. The situation in Tianjin is becoming more and more dangerous every single day. The air is thick with fear. The future is a terrifying unknown. Eric Liddell now faces the most difficult decision of his life. He looks at his wife, Florence, who is pregnant with their third child. He looks at his young daughters. He knows he has to get them out. It's a gut-wrenching choice, but it's the only one a husband and father could make. He arranges for them to travel to the safety of her parents' home in Canada. Imagine that goodbye. Standing on a crowded dock, the sounds of chaos all around, holding his family for what he knows might be the last time. He kisses his daughters, holds his pregnant wife, and promises to follow them as soon as he can. He watches the ship disappear over the horizon, taking his entire world with it. The easy thing, the sensible thing, would have been to get on that boat with them. No one would have blamed him. But Eric Liddell didn't take the easy way. He turned around and walked back into the heart of the storm. Why? Why would he stay? Because his race wasn't over. He saw the terrified faces of his Chinese students, the local villagers, the refugees who had lost everything. His work, he believed, was not just about teaching science or coaching sports anymore. It was about being a beacon of hope in a world consumed by darkness. He felt a profound duty, not just as a missionary but as a fellow human being, to stay and serve those who had nowhere else to turn. So he stayed. He continued his work at the Anglo-Chinese College. He helped smuggle people to safety. He used his reputation to protect the locals as best he could. He chose to put the safety of others before his own, trading the comfort of his family for a war zone. He sent his future to safety, but he chose to remain in the terrifying present, all because his faith told him that this was where he needed to be. His story didn't end here, of course, and the path ahead would be far more difficult than he could ever imagine. But in that one heartbreaking, selfless decision to stay, Eric Liddell proved that the truest measure of a person's faith isn't found in a church or on a victory stand, but in the choices they make when the world is falling apart.